Erev Tov Rabotai, we are continuing with our Mishna Yomi, Masechet Gittin. We are up to Perek Gimel Mishnah Daled. Today's Mishnah should be Le'ilu Nishmat Neria ben Svetlana Renbai V'Eliyahu ben Burcha Israel V'Chana ben Miriam Sason ben Ryan Yoshua ben Shifra Menuchatam beGan Eden Amen and Le'avdil ben Chaim L'Chaim V'Derefua Shenemav Daniel Shalom ben Rosa V'Tor Shah Chulei Israel. The Mishnah continues to discuss laws based on the Chazakah legal presumption that a person is still alive. Shelosha devarim amar Rabbi Elazar ben Parta lefnei chachamim. Rabbi Elazar ben Parta said three things before the sages, meaning he stated the law for the following three cases with regard to the assumption that the person or people in each case is still alive. V'kimu dvarav, and they confirmed his words, meaning they accepted his teachings as law. Al ir shekifah kalkom, he said regarding the people in a town surrounded by an army, Vala sfina mitarefet bayam, and the people on a ship being battered at sea by a storm. And a person was being judged for a crime punishable by death, that the people in the town or the ship or the person on trial are presumed to be alive. The principle of Chazakat tells us that in each of these cases, the current status is maintained, and we say that the town was not captured, the ship did not sink, and the defendant was not sentenced to death. Therefore, a get sent from one of these people may be delivered to his wife, and the wives of any Kohanim in the town or on the ship or on trial may continue to eat teruma as taught in the previous Mishnah. However, the people in a town that has already been captured by an army, not surrounded, but shekivshah, the people in a town that has already been captured by an army, usfina she'avda bayam, and the people on the ship lost at sea, meaning it has sunk, vayotze la'areg, and a person who was going out to be executed, meaning even if he is not yet being led out to the place of execution, as long as he has already been convicted and sentenced to death, he's considered a person going out to be executed. In these cases, they cannot be assumed to be alive. Rather, we apply to them the stringencies of the living and the stringencies of the dead. Since the probability of death in these cases is very high, but it is not yet certain that they are dead, we must treat their relatives with both the stringencies that would apply to them if these people are still alive, as well as those that would apply to them if they are dead. Now, just to explain, when a city is conquered, its people are not usually all killed. And even when a ship sinks, there are sometimes survivors. And similarly, even a person who is on the way to his execution is not always put to death. The Gemara on page 28b in Masechet Gittin cites two opinions about the reasons for this. According to one opinion, the Mishnah is speaking about someone who was convicted by a Jewish court, since they must continue looking for reasons to find the defendant innocent even as he is taken out to be executed. It is possible that they found one and let him go. And according to another opinion, the Mishnah is speaking about someone who was convicted by a non-Jewish court. Since their judges often take bribes, we must suspect that the judges may have been bribed by his family or friends to overturn his death sentence. So again, we apply to them the stringencies of the living and the stringencies of the dead. For example, Bat Yisrael a Kohen, the daughter of Israel, a non-Kohen married to a Kohen, who may eat teruma as long as her husband is alive, as taught in the previous Mishnah. Ubat Kohen Israel, and the daughter of a Kohen married to a Israel, who may go back to eating teruma when her husband dies. Now, the daughter of a Kohen may eat teruma as long as she is not married. Once she marries a non-Kohen, she loses the right to eat teruma. If she is widowed from him or divorced and she has no children from him, she goes back to her father's house, meaning she can again eat teruma, as the Mishnah discusses in Masechet Yevamot, chapter 9, Mishnah 6. Lo tuchal batruma. In these cases, they may both not eat teruma, meaning if the husband of either of these women was in one of these three situations that we described, in a captured town, on a ship lost at sea, or sentenced to death, his wife may not eat teruma because we apply both stringencies. If she is a non-Kohen married to a Kohen, she may not eat teruma because of the possibility that her husband is dead, the stringency of the dead. And if she is a daughter of a Kohen married to a non-Kohen, she may not eat teruma because of the possibility that her husband is still alive, the stringencies of the living. Now the Mishnah speaks of the laws of teruma only as an example of applying both stringencies to her. Certainly, all of the stringencies are also subject to these, all other situations are also subject to these stringencies. For example, she may not remarry since her husband might still be alive, but an agent bringing a get to her may not deliver it because her husband might be dead. And that is in a Mishnah Daled. Mishnah Hey teaches what an agent should do if he is unable to deliver the get. If an agent bringing a get from one place to another in Eretz Yisrael becomes ill on the way and is unable to deliver the get, he may send the get to the wife with another person. Just as a husband may appoint an agent to deliver a get for him, so too his agent may appoint another agent to take his place and deliver the get, as long as the sender approves. In a case where the agent falls ill and is unable to deliver the get, we assume the husband would give permission for another person to do so. And the Mishnah speaks of a get being delivered from one place to another in Eretz Yisrael, because in such a case, there is no need for the agent to testify when he gives the get that it was written and signed in his presence. However, if a get is brought from outside Eretz Yisrael, the agent cannot simply appoint another agent to complete the delivery, because that other person will not be able to testify that the get was written and signed in his presence. The next Mishnah will teach what should be done in that case. V'im amar lo, however, if the husband had said to the agent when he gave him the get, Toli hemenu chefetz ploni, Toli hemena chefetz ploni, when you deliver the get, take back from her the object that I deposited with her, literally such and such an object. The husband specified which object he wants back. Lo yishelchenu biyadechel, the agent should not send the get with another person, even if he is too ill to deliver it himself. She'en ritzono sheyeh pikdono biyadechel, because the husband does not want the item he deposited with her to be in the hands of another person. Since the husband asked the agent to take back that object for him, he is particular that only this agent should do so, because a person does not trust everyone to hold his possessions. However, if the agent did appoint another agent and he delivered the get takes effect and she is divorced. And that is the Nabotai of today's Mishna Yomi. Baruch Adonai Leolam. Amen v'amen.